Offensive Player of the Year, Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson right now. It says somebody else get theirs with exaggerated workload. Jefferson hasn't commanded the otherworldly target shares this season. Has averaged 30 routes per game, which hails in comparison to Jamar Chase, 33, CD 36.5. Jefferson has been ruthlessly efficient. His 3.3 yards per route run ranks second behind Nico Collins, and more than 31% of his receptions go for 20 yards or more. He has posted a 69% catch rate when an average receiver at the same spot would have caught it 61% of the passes thrown in his direction. Number 2, and probably will win Offensive Player of the Year. You heard me mention his name before. The Cowboys have to go up against him this week. Saquon Barkley is hands down having the best season of his career. The Eagles are on pace right now to have over 600 rushes between quarterback and their running backs. That haven't happened for the Philadelphia Eagles since 1949. But Saquon right now, he is on pace to have a career-high 2,276 yards from scrimmage. He's averaging 5.9 yards per carry and has 8 touchdowns in 8 games. I told you guys before, they've had 9 NFC Player of the Weeks. He owns 3 of those in week 1, week 7, and week 9. Barkley is lights out right now, and he's a huge reason why this Philadelphia Eagles team is playing their brand of football, that good brand of football they're playing right now. But I should have told you to keep these stats up earlier, Tay. The other Offensive Player of the Year, King Henry. King Henry is number 1. Anything that has to do with rushing, pick a stat. Rushing attempts, rushing yards, rushing touchdown, longest rush, rushing average, anything that has to do with rushing the football, King Henry is first. The now 30-year-old back is producing historically significant campaign. Through 9 games, Henry has 1,000 yards rushing and 11 touchdowns. The only other back to top the round numbers of 1,000 yards and 10 rushing touchdowns through the first 9 games of the season in the past 40 years are Emmitt Smith. He did it in 1995. Terrell Davis in 1998. Sean Alexander in 2005. Oddly enough, all of those won MVP awards. Right now, that is King Henry as Defensive Player of the Year. Now, we can get into the MVP. You heard him just say King Henry should probably be in that conversation, but we all know that the MVP goes to a quarterback. And these 3 names are not mentioned in the Barnwell article as the top 3, but I would be remiss if I said Patrick Mahomes. While he hasn't had his best season, it's Patrick Mahomes. They're still 7-0. And at this rate, if they finish this year 17-0, and if they run the table and do a three-peat, I mean, what do you want to do? I mean, Patrick Mahomes should be in that conversation. Barkley should be in that conversation. He's not on this list for Bill Barnwell, but I think Saquon Barkley should be on that list. Josh Allen should be on that list, and King Henry should be in that list. This year is a lot of things happening in the National Football League, but the 3 names that he has, number 3, he has Jared Goff. I'm not mad at this. Interesting stat. Jared Goff in the last 6 games has more touchdowns, 28, than he does incompletions, 24. Think about that for a second. In the last 6 games, Jared Goff has more touchdowns, 28, than incompletions, 24. Jared Goff and his number 1 receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, they have 30 completions in a row. The last time that Jared Goff has thrown an incompletion was September. We are in November. The last time that he's thrown an interception has been thrown an incompletion to Amon-Ra St. Brown It was in September. He is second in the league in completion percentage through the first 9 games. Only one other person has had a higher completion percentage, and that was Drew Brees. He's right in there. It's Drew Brees, it's Goff, and then it was Tom Brady, I believe. But he is playing lights out football. Bill Barnwell has his second MVP candidate, rookie, Jaden Daniels. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at But I think he might have to, you know what I mean? He got to do a little bit with it. He's ranked 5th. I said again, I'm not mad at it. But Bill Barnwell has him in his top 3. I don't know. I mean, I can make a case easily taking him out and putting King Henry in there. I can make a case easily putting Josh Allen, you know what I'm saying, in that conversation. I'd even argue a little bit of Saquon Barkley in that conversation. And then, of course, Lamar Jackson. Lamar is playing some really good football. And I think that people are going to have voter fatigue, kind of how they did with Jokic, right? And it was like he was supposed to win it, but they were like, well, we can't give it to him 3 times in a row because, it's just not. So they gave it to Joel Embiid. And then they came right back the next year and was like, okay, he really is the best player in the league. And they gave him the MVP again. But I just, and I know that this is a regular season award, and Lamar Jackson has been playing lights out. And Bill Barnwell says, forget what Jackson has done as a runner. He doesn't even need to be mentioned to justify picking up his league MVP. It says he leads the league in passing yards per attempt, 9.3, adjusted net yards per attempt, 9.7, and touchdown to interception ratio, 20-2, all while his receivers are dropping passes at the 7th highest rate. He's doing this while throwing 35% of his targets to Rashad Bateman, Nelson Aguilar, and Justice Hill, and with 3 of his new starters along the offensive line. Jackson has, as a passer, is turning in a 44.7% passing attempt on first down this season, which is extremely rarefied air. Since 2000, the only guys to top that while starting each of their team's first 9 games are Tom Brady in 2007, Peyton Manning in 2013, Goff in 2018, Manning again in 2004, Matt Ryan in 2016. 4 of those 5 guys won MVPs in the season, and the season by Brady and Manning come up regularly when discussing the best years ever produced by a quarterback. So Bill Barnwell is saying Lamar Jackson is doing some things outside of his running ability, because that's going to King Henry right now when he's playing at an MVP level. Don't forget to leave your comments in there about what you think. Who are some of your Coach of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and MVPs?